In this mission, a small number of Ukrainian MiG-21s are stationed at a road base to be directed by GCI to intercept a number of Russian attack planes. The missions are short-range, hit-and-run missions. They need to be done quickly, so no external fuel is required. The planes are armed up with 4 R-60M aphid missiles and rocket pods to assist in launch on the road. There's a countermeasure pod has been added that enables the MiG to drop flares and chaff, and to a limited extent, jam. Okay, here's a quick cockpit setup that I found useful. Open the drop cover, turn on emergency afterburner, enable landing gear retraction, arm the gun. The missiles are already set up. Change this to missile, turn on the jamming pod, turn this to manual, 2 clicks to get this to single flare. Don't open the cover yet, and turn off the ground proximity radar because that will be flying low and will cause a lot of unnecessary screaming in the cockpit. Enable the JTOW system. Now wait for GCI to call out contacts 095 for 49 nautical miles. Takeoff technique I use is to bring the throttles up to speed just before the engine goes into afterburner. I hold the brake until just before the engine goes into afterburner, release the brakes, afterburners kick in, keep it on the road. If the MiG-21 goes off the road, it tends to just explode. As soon as the JTOWs kick in, haul back on the stick, wait for the plane to take off, landing gear up, wait for the landing gear up and locked light, neutralize the landing gear handle, drop the JTOW rockets, bring the flaps up, and depart in clean and normal flight. Come off the afterburner after about 600 kilometers per hour. Gently bring the throttles up. Release. Gear up. Neutralize. Drop the JTOW rockets. Flaps up. Don't forget to enable your countermeasure launcher by opening the cover. At this point, I like to receive guidance from GCI. Should be directing towards a target. I prefer to be targeted or directed to slightly to the side of the path of the incoming Su-25s so that I don't have a head-on merge with them and I can loop behind them without them seeing me. Once you have your targets in sight, try to sneak up behind them. Don't worry about chasing them down. Once they drop their weapons, the mission's essentially complete. They have failed in their mission. Now, return to base as quickly as you can. Here's a quick opportunity to talk about the landing arrangement. Over in the distance, there are 3 tall smoke columns that I set up to use to help identify the location of the base and line up for the runway or for the road. I know that's cheating, but as you can see from here, I can't possibly pick out the road or the base location visually from here. From here you can see the arrangement of the smoke columns relative to the road and the base. The closest smoke column is located just to the left of the road. The middle smoke column is located just behind the road base on the right, and then the third column is lined up exactly with the road. And so when you're landing, you would see this from this direction, from the east, you would see this arrangement of columns. When coming in over the lake, the easiest thing to do is pass right over that furthest column, and you'll be, if your visual is these two smokestacks straight ahead, you'll be lined up with the road. For reasons I can't explain, I've had much better success landing from this direction. I do know that there is some kind of bump in the road or other artifact that causes the plane to lose control if you touch down coming from the lake close to the base. So if you're coming from the lake, overfly the base a ways and touch down midway down the road. These are the speeds that work for me. Dirty up around 500, landing gear down around 400, approach speed around 350, trying to flare and land around 300, maybe a little less. I find that if I get too far under 300 before I'm in ground effect, which for this plane is low, the plane gets very unstable, very wobbly, with a tendency to get into a Dutch roll. So these may not be perfect speeds, but these are what I find work for me. I usually don't need to use the parachute to land. There's plenty of runway, so just let it roll out.